Yes, welcome to TKJ YouTube channel. Friends, in today's video, we are going to discuss the all basic concepts that are required as a system admin of SELinux. Okay, so what is SELinux? So here you can see that SELinux stands for Security Enhanced Linux. Basically, SELinux is a security architecture for Linux systems that allow administrators to have more control over who can access the system. Like system can have applications and processes running on it. Okay. So SC is a application level security and it was originally developed by the United States National Security Agency, which is also known as NSA. Okay. So as a series of patches of the Linux kernel using Linux security module. Okay. How it's developed? It developed and Linux as a security modules, okay, also known as LSM. So SLinux was released as the open source community by in open source community in 2000, okay, and was integrated into the upstream Linux kernels in 2000 around 2003. So when we talk about the access control, like SLinux is also used as a access control. So there are two types of access control present in uh, all Linux system. So first one is DAC. DAC is known as discriminatory access control, and second one is MAC, which is known as mandatory access control. So, like traditionally, Linux and Unix system have used DAC, okay, and SC but SC Linux is an example of Mac system for Linux, okay. What is SC Linux? SC Linux is based on Mac system, okay, and it is for Linux. So, like when we have DAC, then file and processes have owners and you can have own file and permission on them. So that are managed by using chmod, chgrp, and chown. So these are the Mac, not Mac. These are the DAC based command. Okay. These all command is available in all Unix version and also in Linux version because both support the DAC access control method. Okay, so just put the etc here. Okay, so now in DAC, what is the problem in DAC system? Is the root user has full access control with the DAC system. Okay, and if you have root access, then you can access any other user's file or do whatever want on the system. Okay, so that is the problem. So I'm highlighting this. But on Mac system like SC Linux, there is administratively set policy around access. Even if the dark setting on your home directory are changed, an SC Linux policy in place to prevent another user or processes from accessing the directory will keep the system safe. And SC Linux policy let you be specific and cover a large number of processes, and you can make changes with SC Linux to limit access between user files, directory, and memory. Okay, so let's talk about how does SC Linux work. So SC Linux basically define the access control for application processes and files on a system, and it uses the security policies. Okay, uh, which are set up rules that tell SC Linux what can or what cannot be accessed to enforce the access allowed by a policy. It means SC Linux uses a AV policy. Uh, okay, and if according to their policy, if something is some services or processes allowed, then it only allow those services. If it is in denied, then it will deny. So when an application or process known as subject, so in actually Linux term, any application or process is known as subject. And if any subject make a request to access an object may be file or uh, any uh, attribute requirement or any IO requirement, okay, and file, okay. So I on disk, okay. So SELinux check with an access vector cache. First, SELinux check the access vector cache, where permission are cached are subject and object. Okay. So this is the basically AV cache. Okay. So if SELinux is unable to make a decision about access based on the cached permission, because these are the frequently used, or you can say AVs present in ABC. So it sends the request in our system like it's L1, L2, L3 cache. Okay. So it sends the request to security server. The security server check the security context of the app or process and file. Security context is applied from the Linux policy database. Okay. And permission is then granted or denied. So basically what policy database contain? Policy database contain AV rule, access vector rule. Okay. And if permission is denied, then an access vector control denied, cache denied message will be available in varlog.message. So how to configure SELinux? How we are able to configure SELinux? So there are number of ways that you can uh, go through to configure SELinux to protect your system. So the most common are targeted policy or multi-level security. So here in our complete video, we are just going to cover the targeted policy of SELinux. It's also known as multi-level security. Sorry, not multi-level security. So generally we use these two, but in complete video I am going to discuss about the targeted policy of SELinux. Okay, so targeted policy is the default option. Okay, what is like targeted policy is the default option and covers a range of processes, tasks and services. MLS can be very complicated and typically only used by the government organizations. Okay, so multi-level security is very complex. So these MLS can be only configured in the environment that are need to be more secure, like government organizations. So you can tell what your system is supported to be running at by looking at the etc sysconfig SELinux. Okay, so this is for RHEL 8. Now in RHEL 9 you can expect SELinux and config. Okay, location of SELinux configuration file is changed in RHEL 9 or RHEL 8 and for RHEL 9. Okay. So that's important thing to remember. Location of SELinux configuration file is changed in real time. So the file will have section that shows you whether SELinux is in permission mode or in enforcing mode or in disable mode. So we will discuss in our practical session about this in the same session. Okay, SELinux labeling and type of enforcement. So type of enforcement in labeling are the most important concept for SELinux. So SELinux works at labeling system. What is on what system? Work on labeling system, which means that all of the files, process, and codes in a system have an SELinux label associated with them. And labels are a logical way of grouping things together. Okay. So the kernel manages the labels during the boot. Who manage the kernel? Who manage the label? Basically, kernel is responsible for managing the label during the boot time. So when we disable, when we have to, when SLNF is in disable state and we have to enable the SLNF, then we have to reboot to our system and vice versa. We have to perform that operation. Okay. So labels are in the format of user role type and label. And here label is the optional. So here in the SLNF like targeted mode, we just focus on this type, like we just focus on context type because role is used for the ansible role and user is also used with automation, like when we are going to set up when we are going to manage all of our Linux by ansible, then we have to just use, and level is just an optional option. For now we are just going to focus on this type. Okay. And user role and level are used in more advanced implementation of SELinux, like with MLS type is the most important. Uh, like here it already said label type. Sometimes it's also known as context type. Context type is the most important for targeted policy. So SELinux uses type enforcement to enforce a policy that is defined on the system. So type enforcement is the part of SELinux policy that defines whether a process running on a certain type can access a file labeled with a certain type. Okay. So how we can just enable SELinux and disable? So we have to go to config file, and just we have to if we want to change it to permanently manner, like if we want to enable it, then we can just change it to enforcing, and if you want to disable it, then we have to just use the targeted, not targeted, we have to just disable, change it to disable. And if we want to give permissive, so we will discuss later what is the difference between enforcing, disabled, and permissive in our practical during our practical. Like here, SELinux is in targeted mode, so which is a default mode of SELinux. So in this mode, like when SELinux type is in targeted mode, so in this mode, access vector rules like ACL deals only the type, deal with only context type, or sometimes it's also known as domain. Okay, which is the third attribute of context, and ignore other attributes like user role and sensitivity range. So these all three are ignored when SELinux type is in targeted. Okay, because these, as I already explained, these are the advanced and used in MLS concept of SELinux. So how to handle SELinux errors? So if you are facing any SELinux error, then there may be the four possible reasons. Okay, like the when we set label, like maybe label are wrong. So if you are labeling, if our labeling is incorrect, then how? Then we can just use some open source tool to fix this, because these are very complex things. So if you try to do manually, then it's good, very complex. So, okay, so like sometimes a policy need to be fixed, okay, and sometimes there is a bug in our policy also. So the system has been broken into, like sometimes maybe our system is compromised, okay, so that may be the reason for SELinux giving error. So what are the booleans in SELinux? Like booleans, as we already know, if we are from CF background, a boolean can have only two values, zero or one, like one or zero. So setting for function in SELinux, there are hundreds of settings that can turn SELinux capability on or off, and many are already predefined. So you can find out which booleans have already been set in your system by running just get stbool -a. So that's it. We covered the all theoretical part, and now we are going to just have practical session. So just turn on your RHEL machine. Okay, like as I already tell, we can disable the cylinder. So SELinux is a optional feature, not a mandatory feature. Okay, which we can use. So first of all, we want to check the status of a cylinder. So what we can do? So we can just use the get enforce command. So by default, it always be in enforcing mode. So we can disable this cylinder during the. So if we have to disable this, then we have to just go and change into the SELinux config file, and then we have to reboot. But what happened when we don't want to reboot, but we want to disable just SELinux for uh, till next boot or till next command of SELinux. So what we can do right now? So we can just make it to permissive mode. So permission mode is the same mode in which SELinux is uh, in inactive state. Okay. So how we can do this? We can just use the set enforce command for this. So like set enforce 0. Okay. Why it's giving permission denied error? Because it can be only uh, executed by the root user. Okay. So first we have to become root, and then we are able to execute the SELinux command. Okay. Now just give the command set in force 0, and now just check the SELinux status. Now you can see that it is in permissive mode. So in permissive mode, basically SELinux is not in disable state. So disable state is different, and permissive state is different. Like in permission mode, we can just turn on it to enforcing mode without any reboot. It means no reboot is required. Just it is we can say just now our SC Linux is just watching, not just blocking anything, but it's watching everything. It means it's making a log of all the services uh, where uh, SELinux is allowed or where SELinux is denied. But it's not blocking any service. Okay. But when it is in enforcing mode, then it strictly prohibit two services. Like if it is deny according to its AV rule, then it's just deny that service. And if it is if any service or process is allowed according to AV rule, then it just allow those services. Okay, but in permissive is just watching. It does not have capability to allow or deny something. Like, okay, it's just saying like when like let's talk about the example of watchman. Just like watchman or guard of our uh, house or apartment. Okay, so right now we give the like just we give the permission to you have to just watch, not have to do anything. Okay, you just watch who is going inside and who is going outside, and who are the permitted and who are not permitted. You don't have to do anything. But when it is in enforcing mode, like we can change it to enforcing mode by just giving the command set enforce 1. Okay. Now let's check the status up by using get enforce command of SELinux. Okay. Now it's in enforcing mode. So when SELinux is enforcing mode, basically it's checking its complete AB AB cache, and then after checking AB cache, if no record is found for that process, then it's checking for the if no any rule is found in AB cache, then it's checking for the AB rule in database. Okay, so this is the complete idea of in permissive mode and enforcing mode. Let's talk about the disable mode. So if we have to disable SELinux, then we have to must change the into the uh, SELinux config file. So let's check where SELinux config file is located. So as we already know, all configuration file is located in etc, and in etc we have a Linux, SELinux, and there we have a config file. Okay, so let's go one by one. So let's just okay. Now we can see that here config file is present. Just we can catch because this is not a directory, so we are not able to change to this. So this is a file. So what we have to do, we have to edit this. So we open this config file in VI. So location of this file is different in RHEL 8. Like here we can see that SC Linux is in enforcing mode. So for disabling SC Linux, just going to insert mode, and we have to just write like here it already gave example, but now we can just write here what disable. Okay, and let's make it in full screen. Okay, now here we can see that enforcing valid option are enforcing permissive and disabled. Okay, so we want to just disable the SELinux. So what we have to do, just we have to change this parameter. SELinux is equal to disabled, and uh, we don't want to change SELinux type. Like this is in targeted mode, so we are going to just discuss uh, all about the SELinux type targeted mode. Okay, so because targeted mode is the uh, we can simply handle and administrate the targeted mode. But when we talk about its more complex form, multi-level security MLS, then it's going to be more complicated. Okay. So here just we are going to discuss about the targeted mode of SC Linux. Okay. Now our SELinux is disabled. So what we can do now, just we have to WQ here. But without a reboot, we are not able to disable or enable SELinux. So always remember, a reboot is required. So if this is if you are doing on production, then a downtime is required to enable or disable the cylinder. So you have to just plan it in advance. So when you have to enable or disable SELinux, because SELinux is directly associated with the kernel. Kernel set the level for SELinux. So that's why it's require a reboot. So now let's check the um, get enforce status of SC So right now it's in enforcing mode. So but we change the file, then we try to reboot this machine. But my machine takes some time after reboot, so you have to wait to see the result. So I just enter the reboot here, so it's rebooting. So please keep patience because my system take 1 to 2 minutes for booting. So I will stop this video. So our system is just rebooted now. So now we check is our yes, Linux is in enforcing mode or in permissive mode or in disable mode. As we changed the SLinux configuration in SLinux configuration file to it, set we set to be disable. So it must be in disable state. So how we can just check? We have to just use the get enforce command. Yeah, like we can see that now SLinux is in disable state. So how we can just enable and disable this SLinux? So I will show. So right now we have to practice for SLinux. So we have to enable it also. So how we can just enable? Go into the configuration file. If you are using RHEL8, then it is located. It will be located in like here. It will be located in it is this config and Mm, yes, it is configuration in hand. So in RHEL 8, this is for RHEL 8. Okay, sorry. So this is for RHEL 7 and 8. But in RHEL 9, this location is changed. Okay, so we are using RHEL 9. So we are going to so etc. still in a okay and just ls here. So we have to vi because we have to edit our Linux mode. So just vi. So now we can see that SLinux is set to be disabled. So what are the available option we have? Like available option is enforcing permissive and disabled. So now we are going to make it to enable state. So how we can just do it? We have to just write here, just going to insert mode and write here enforcing. So changing SLNX to enforcing to disable or disable to enforcing is required a reboot. But changing from enforcing to permissive, as I explained, and from permissive to enforcing does not require a reboot. Okay. So I also explain what is the difference between the enforcing and permissive mode. And right now I am explaining about the disable state. So in this step, no SELinux rule will apply or no every rule are checked by the system. Okay, let's change the SELinux status to enforcing mode so that we can practice the concept of SELinux. Okay, just escape WQ and now reboot is required. Okay, it's saying read only option is checked. Okay, this user does not have permission. You have to run it by using the root credentials. Okay, so what we can just do now, so we have to just quit here from just change to root. Okay, now we change to root. Now we have to just share etc linux and config. Okay, so just uh, go into insert mode and right here in forcing. Okay, like here you can see that all the possible option is also given here for this. Yes, SELinux is equal to can take these three values and also this SELinux type can SELinux type can take three values also like it can be in targeted mode, it can be in minimum mode, and it can be in MLS. So MLS is the hardest form of SELinux. Okay, this is usually used by the government organization and defense. Okay, so that's it. Let save it. Okay, just we save one more time verify because we are going to reboot our system. So verification is required. Linux config. Okay, just check here. Yes, Linux is in right now have enforcing value. So just it's required reboot because when you check the Linux is for status by using get import, then it's saying it is in disable state. So we are not able to practice our Linux command. So just we have to reboot one more time to change the Linux status to be in enforcing mode. So just click on reboot and wait. Now you can just see that now here it is relabeling the SLNX because just we turned on the SLNX to enforcing mode. So it's basically kernel. Our kernel is relabeling. Okay, so kernel always relabel the SLNX every root when just it boot during the boot. Okay, like here you can see that it's a relabeling. So it's saying SE Linux auto relabel, and here it's giving a warning like SE Linux targeted quality relabel is required, and then it's basically according where at this step it's press a warning. So it's just relabeling because we change the status from disable to enforcing. Okay, so it's saying relabeling can take uh, very long time. But this is not our production server. We just use just we are going to use a default AV rules of default database. So I hope my system will take 2 to 3 minutes extra for reliving. Okay, but in production environment, sometimes it can take many hours also when MLS is implemented. Okay, not just for the default mode. Okay, right now our system is booted properly. So just wait for our system to come up. Okay, it's rebooted one more time, and this at this time it's rebooted with CD because I attached a CD for configuring memory port. So I have to go here and I have to delete this CD, or I have to change it in BIOS. So for now, I just want to remove this and click OK. And just here, I press Control Alt Delete. Oh, sorry, cancel. Okay, so just go here and I have to reboot this machine. Okay, just go here and directly power up this machine. And now power, turn power on this virtual machine. And now this time it will boot from or hardest because I set it a priority of DVD to be high because sometime I want to troubleshoot this. Okay, so that's why that is the reason behind this. So now my system is booting. SELinux is already in forcing mode because this is the second boot. Okay, of our system. So just wait for our system to come up. Till now, I am stopping this video. So this time we just log in with the root credential. Okay. So what we are going to do, first of all, we install Apache server. Okay. So for installing Apache server, so it's saying logged in as privileged user. Okay. We need to first of all we need to configure local M because when here we say M list all, so uh, it's saying basically the system is not registered with an entitlement server. Okay, so although I already created a yum local repo, so but it's not getting the base OS uh, and the upstream there. Okay, so for that we have to just attach a CD drive here from here. Just go here and go to setting and click on add. What we want to add? We want to just add CD or DVD drive. So here we want to use a show image. Okay, just insert it. Click on OK. Okay. Now just check LSBLP. Okay. Yes. Now our CD is here and it's mounted to this place. Okay. Just now this time just use yum list all command one more time. Okay. Now it's saying URL2 is missing name in configuration using ID. Okay, okay. So just check for that location where I configured that. So just we have to know I want VI because we have to edit something there. Just go into full screen mode and go to VI etc reports. Okay, etc reports.d. Sorry. Okay, I just think this is a cd command. Okay, because I don't know, I don't remember the name. So here just write yum dot repos dot p. Okay, and ls here because I don't remember the name of our repo. So it's saying there are two repositories, local dot repo and red hat dot repo. So we have to get this like local dot repo, get local dot repo first of all. So here I just given the location of this. Okay, so for now just edit this. So for editing this, we have to just use the vi tool. For okay, now just edit this. Go into insert mode and name is space here. Space variable is here. Yes, enabled 1 GB check 0. Yes, I think now this time it's correct. Just hit WQ and hit command. Put the command run clean all. Okay, now just use yum repo list all. Sorry. Okay, now it's saying we have two URL1 and URL2 like to OID, and both are enabled. Like base and upstream is enabled. So just here we want to install Apache server. That's why I just make a yum local repo so that I am able to install Apache server. So just go and install Apache. Give command yum install http. Sorry. So what is saying? Failed to download metadata for removal, cannot download removal, cannot download removal. All millimeter were tried. So it's saying could not open file. Let's check is why this is giving this error. One more time. Just try to install. And if here we are ensuring we are getting the same error. Yes, we have same error this time also. So it's saying could not read a file. Okay, it means this is not able to read this file. Okay, why? Because here we can see that. Okay, just go to vi local dot repo one more time, and here we can see that here four slash is present. Okay, go into insert mode first of all. Okay, just save it and try to execute command. Cam install httpd cannot download. Why read a file? Okay, okay. Okay, actually we just forget about that because it's require only two classes. Sometime I also forget about these point. These are very small point, but require a very because small mistake is always responsible for 80% mistakes. Now just we are able to install I is also saying bad illegal format file run media for now cannot download repos.xml. So from where it's checking clear this and just one more time we want to see error. Okay, so what we can do right now? So I think I written this right data there. One more time I am going to just write it. Okay, name is baseware URL1 GPG check is 0 and enable is 1 1 base URL is there. Let's just go sorry go into insert mode. Okay, I'm very confused in this. Okay, well nine two. I hope this time. So just use yum clean all. Now use yum repo list all. Okay, just use command yum install http. Okay, it's saying it means it's not present there. So let's check the output of lsblk one more time. So okay. Why this is not able to read? Because this time this is mounted at this location. So this type of troubleshooting is also required because I confused in slashes. So that's why. So just we have to copy this location, copy this location, and vi to local repo, local.repo, and just change to run media root. Okay, just go on also URL1 and change it to run media root RHEL9 yes. Now this time I'm 100% sure this is correct. So you have to use yum clean all. Okay, yum repo list all. Okay, to your enable and just now try to install yum install http. Okay, now this time we can see that we successfully installed the YAML. So this type of troubleshooting is required. So I am not going to delete this because just I got confused in slashes. Due to that confusion, I just I have to I don't think about is our mounting path is right or not. Okay. Now this time we are able to install the Apache server. So what we have to do, just we want to check here. Let's go to the okay, that first check the status of Apache systemctl status http. So it's saying right now this is in disable state. So just start httpd and enable this okay, httpd so that it will be persistent at next reboot. Okay, just check the status. Now this time we can see that this is in enabled state. Also HTTPD is now running. Now our Apache server is running. So let's try to grab like when okay, just go here and go to the path www. Okay, ls here. Yes, HTML is here. So what we can do, we are just going to edit this HTML. Okay, okay. It's saying HTML is a directory. Okay. So what we have to do, just don't do anything here. Just escape from here, cd to HTML, and ls here. Okay, no one is here. So we create a index.html file. So just create index.html here. And what we are going to write here, like just going to insert mode, first of all. We can just write some HTML there, and like here, just I want to echo hi, our Apache server is running without any error. Okay, just we can close this line. So here we write very simple thing. Okay, so just save it and WQ. Okay, now that in the .html. Okay, it contain following links. Okay, right now let try to access this on browser. Okay, I have to change the view. Full screen first. Okay, what is happening? Yes, yes. Okay, just we launch the Firefox. So launching Firefox sometime can take some time because my system configuration is very low. Okay, now Firefox is launched. So let's try to access like HTTPS local host. So it's saying unable to locate. So let's try to access it now. Port 80. Okay. Our Apache server is not here. Port 83. Okay. It's not able to basically listen. So what we can do now? Just we can grip. Like here it is giving default port. No. So how we can just get the default port of Apache server? So for this we can just use the netstat command also, and we can also check in the configuration file. So for now, I'm just using grep httpt. Okay, grep hp. Yes, TCP shift is listening on 80 port. So I think my Apache is running. My Apache server is running on port 80. Okay, how we can just verify that? So we can also check the configuration file of this Apache server. So for that, we have to just go like first of all go to here, and then we can just where Apache file is located. All configuration is located in etc, and for Apache it will be HTTPD, and we want to check configuration file. So it must be in conf. So httpd.conf. Yes, sorry. Now they tell us here. Okay, here Apache, we can see that Apache configuration file is present here. So now we can see that it is listening port 80 and server root is etc httpd. Okay, so overall purpose of showing this, like right now this is listening on 80. So which we are able to listen on 80 or not? If not, then why? So just escape from here and just open a new window like Firefox is running, I think. Okay, what I'm trying to do, like just I want to exit from the full screen. So just click here, leave full screen. Okay, okay. What now we can do? Just I think here it's not listening here. So try to change this. Maybe this is the issue of yes. This is here because I put yes. So right now we are not using any SSL. So here it's saying echo hi. Our Apache server is running without an error. Okay. So now this time we try to run this Apache server on different port number. Okay. So just go here and just I would like to change the default port of this Apache server. Like go into insert mode and I want to access this on 85 port 85. So what just we can save it and okay we restart the Apache server services. So what we have to do just system restart httpd. So now this time is saying httpd service failed because the control process exit with error code. So now we this time go into full screen mode. Just cut this. Okay, now this time it's saying it's giving an error. So it's saying just go here and you can just see what is happening. So yes, we are here. Now it's saying HTTP server main service existed code status is failure. So what is the reason of failure this? So unit process exited belong unit. Yes, this is showing the complete. Okay. So it's very long. So what we can do, like first switch from here. Okay. Now we can also say we can see the error by using the command like self-b. We can also just tell the one more delta, and we can also grep here. But I think just this is the best way. So I am just using this where log or the dot log. Okay. So now this time we can see that here our SELinux log is saying like any AB like ABC just it check for rule in ABC like in cache and it just denied because it's saying for this context type HTTP this source 85 is not allowed. So that's why it just not start the service. Okay, just it denied to allow it to port 85. Okay, so here in the same manner we can just see the R. Okay, like here just Q. Okay, We can grip here, like in the same manner, like we can grip uh, STPT. Okay, now here it's highlighted all the part here. So enough information for troubleshooting here. Okay, we can find enough information for troubleshooting any SELinux issues. So just quit from here, and so we got that our SELinux is basically prohibiting to access the source port 85. So what we can do now? So just we as administrator, we have to allow that. So how we can just allow that? So while allowing that, we have to allow port 85 are their context type. So how we can just get the context type of HTTP? So getting the context type, what we can use, just go to the like cd where okay www where www html. Okay, let's here just cd here. Now we can use the ls hyphen lz lz and we want to see context type of html. So here is saying it is http content t. Okay. So this is the mm, type. We can say context type, which is just used by our this HTML. So we can also use this context type for a line. Let's try to this context type and see uh, what will happen. So we have to allow port 85. So what we can do, we have to give command sc manage port hyphen a hyphen t for context type, and we just want to just copy this content uh, context type for this time. Okay, and just give yes, we are going to use protocol is this, and we are to use port 55. So it's saying HTTP this is content is invalid must be a port type. So how we can just find the port type? Port so we can just use the justice search command for doing the same. Justice search for which I want to search just search for what we have to search is etc http and const http.com. Okay, it's saying the search command is not found here. So how we can just say? So we have to just use the manage command. No, just say no. Manage port hyphen L. So I want to just grip about HTTP. So due to no services is running, I am not able to see context type. So what we can do right now? So as I know what is the right context type for Apache. But just I try to show you how you can just do that. So okay, let's check one more time. What we can do right now? Just we have to just set the right context type. Okay, so what is the right? Right one is this. So like here we can like port is because we just want to allow port, not any file. So we are not able to use this because this is for HTML align HTML file and this is for allowing the port. So just we execute this command. Okay, now this command is executed successfully. Now just try to restart. So just give the command systemctl restart http. Yes, now this time our Apache server is restarted successfully. Okay, so just start the Firefox and try to access this. Go here http local host 35. Okay, now our Apache server is running on a custom port 85. Okay, so in the manner we can just allow the C Linux. Okay, just by changing the context type. So where this context type are basically stored, where all these are stored. So how we can just know? We have to give the this context type. We have to just give this context type for changing or for allowing any port for Apache. So where just your question is now where you can find this. Okay, so just finding this, what you have to do. So just you can search it on Google or you can just also search it in the system. So that's how you can just allow custom port of Apache. Now let just first check the if function hyphen a. Okay, this is my IP address. Okay, just I go here. Yes. Now this time, what we are going to do? Like this time, like our SSH service is running, and when we try to take SSH root, so just I am able to take SSH from any remote system. Okay, so here we are successfully able to take SSH. Why we are able to take SSH? because just we are using the default port. Now let we have to change the SSH code from 22 to 1122. 1122. So then we just exit from here. So how we can confirm that this is running in 22? Okay. No such. It means by default SSH will run on port 22. So if you change the port of SSH, like here, let's just go to here and check the status of SSH service. So for this, we can use systemctl status SSH. Okay, SSH. Okay, it means it's saying system ctl. Okay, now it's saying this is SSH is enabled and active and running. So what we can do right now? Just we are going to change what we are going to do. Just we are going to change the default SSH port. So first of all, let's check the context type of SSH. So how we can just check it? Like we want to change port. So just the grep RSS. Yes, it's saying SSH port. The context type are port SSH port is SSH port is. So in the same manner, we can also able to find the like HTTPD context type. So just right here, okay, it's not showing the basically. Okay, just right here HTTP. Okay, now this time it's showing. Like here we can see that as your question is how you can just find the. So you can just find it in this manner because at that time I forget about the right way. Like we have to just write HTTP, not HTTPD. Okay. So this is the just so here you can see that this is the context type for allowing the HTTP port and for HTTP port like for this context type. Here we have allowed port list like 85, 80, 81, 443, 488, 48, 8008, 8009. So these all port are allowed. So if we are using any one of this port, then don't have to change. We don't have to allow uh, any port in SELinux. Okay, because these are already allowed for this context type. Okay. And for caching the HTTP server, these ports are allowed. Okay. So let's try to change. Like here we can see the for SSH only one port is allowed, which is 22, and protocol is TCP. So just go to the SSH, just go here cd etc, and here we have to go for SSH. We have to check for SSH configuration file because I forget about what is the exact location of SSH configuration file. So that's why I'm checking here. So you can just use the ls brief SSH history. Okay, sorry. Okay, just cd2 SSH and ls here. So now here we can see that we have the two files SSH config and SSHD config. For now, just we want to change the daemon SSHD config. So we just go to vi SSHD config, and here we want to change the default port. So So it's saying like here you can see that it's saying how you can just tell like if you want to change the port of a SC Linux system, if you want to change the port of SC Linux system, you have to tell SC Linux about this change. Like I just want to uh, just go to insert mode. I just want to use 11 12 12 11 22. So just for this, I can just copy this command from here. Just and just you can save right now and hit WQ and try to restart SSD. So just use system CTL restart. Sorry, restart SSD. So if the job for SSD services fail because the control process executed with error. So if this SSD is failed, then how we can check what error we are facing right now? So just we can tell the log file of SELinux. So where log file of SELinux is located, like any log file is located in where a log file system. Okay, just where log and where we can find this log audit dot log. Okay, and just we can grep for SSHD because we are facing the issue with SSHD. So here what is saying? mm, okay, here we can see that ABC basically ABC rule denied for source access for 1122. So how we can just allow this? So for this allowing what we can do, just exit from here. So we have to change we have to just allow it to SC Linux. So how we can just allow any port to SC Linux as we already copied that like here. So here just we specify the 1122 and hit enter. Okay. So right now just trying to restart SSH services. So just give the command systemctl restart SSHD. Yes, now our SSHD is started. Now let's try to access in default way as we access SSH. So it's saying connection refused because why? Because we changed the default port. So sometimes for increasing the security, we our company uses the custom port for SSH services. So how we can just specify any port? So here we can just specify by using this. Okay, let's check the status of SSHD. So how we can check the status? System status SSHD. Okay, our SSH is running. Here we can see that. And right now it's running on 11.20.22 and listening all IPs there. So just one more time. Wait. So this is saying connection timeout. So why we are not able to connect this time? Although we specify the -p option. So like what we can do, uh, I think just check for the firewall. Okay, just check the status of firewall link because sometimes firewall can also block this. So system secure status of firewall link firewall link. Okay, we write the firewall link. Yes, our firewall D is running. So I think our firewall is blocking this. So we can just first of all just we can stop this firewall for this practical. Okay, now this time let's check the status. Okay, now our firewall access is off. Let's try to access this on custom port. Okay, right now this time we are able to access. So when you face this type of error, then we have to solve it. Just we don't have to cut that part of video because that's where we learn most, I think. So that we have to also see this because this type of error you can also face and you have to troubleshoot this as a admin. So just give the password. Now we can see that we are able to access our SSH over a custom port. So that's it. How we can just we can also allow this custom port on firewall, but firewall is the not part for now. So that's why just I disable the firewall. Okay. So in the same manner, just we can change the like context type and also like if you want to allow some file for over the access for accessing like we have a Apache server running right now, so I can practice on that same. So just go to cd root and go to cd. Okay, where yeah, I want to go, yes, I want to go, yes, TTPT. And um, sorry, I don't want to go there. It is the www. Okay. Where I want to go? Yes, I want to go for index.html. I want to access index.html. So where I can find that? Where I can find that at where? So where www. and go for HTML. And let's check the ls hyphen I'll get context type of this. So as we check this, so this is the basically context type for index.html. Okay, just go to one more here and just check the, so far checking the context type of any file or directory, we can just use the jet parameter in ls command. Okay, just for now I want to check html. Okay, this is saying http, this is content t. So if we check right now, or when we check when we execute here Firefox, okay, okay. So just try to check here. Is our service is running right now? Okay, how we can do that? Just type here like HTTP localhost. Okay, our Apache server is running and it's echoing the content of index.html. Okay, what we can do right now? Just here, go here, and here we try to change this uh, context type. Okay, so how we can just change? So there is a command to change this cscon. Cscon command can be used for changing the context type. Okay. So we just want to change this for directory. For which directory? Firstly, I want to change also the directory permission, also the directory context type, and also the file context type. So I will be changing this. So hyphen T for specifying the context type. So just here, let's try to use the context type of Samba. So, so here we just going to use the context type of Samba. So basically, purposefully we are making it wrong, not the right. We are just making this wrong. We don't responsive. Okay, okay, it's saying Samba is not here. So it's saying fail to change context of integer. Okay, let's change it to HTTP. Okay, okay. It's saying it's not fine. So we can only change that context type that are already there. Yeah. Okay. So like if you want to change this to like we can change it to what error we are basically facing. Okay. Let this is not basically correct one for some also. Okay. Now this time we just change the we change the context type. So let's check the output of ls hyphen lez command for HTML. Okay, right now this is showing this is the context type of for HTML directory. Now let's check for file also index.html, and it's also changed because we applied this command. recursively for directory HTML. Okay, so that's why context type of index.html is also changed. So let's try to access right now. So at this time, just restart the Apache server. So we can just use the systemctl restart httpd. Okay. Now this time our Apache server is able to restart. But let's try to access our Apache server over Firefox. Okay, just go here and try to access http localhost 80. Okay, now this time we are not able to access the content of index.html. It's basically redirected to a different code, or sorry, different page. Okay. So how we can just find what error we are facing? So for this, as I already tell, we can use tail command, tail file by hyphen f, and where our log are located at log, where log, and just we are going to see audit log. So just go for audit log, and we are trying to find the error related with Apache server. So right here is TPT. Okay, now what error we are facing, you can see here. So here is just simply saying this is the right context type. HTTPD T is the right context type, but you are using the different context type. Here you can see that ABC is denied for this path. Okay, because this is the because system SELinux is expecting the context type HTTPDT, but it getting this Samba CRT. So that's why it's disallow this. So in the same manner, we can just we got the why this SELinux is not allowed this. So we can just change it. So for this, we can just use the restore con command. Restore con for restoring the context. So we can just specify the hyphen r for recursively and the directory for which we want to restore that. And now let's check the context type for HTML. Okay, this time you can see that context type is restored to the default value. Okay, let's check for also index.html. Okay, this is restored for its right one. So how it system is able to restore, because system has a database value for every file. Default value is there. So that's why it's matching that. So now Apache context type is here. So HTTP is content T. Okay. So let's try to access over just restart the Apache server. So right here system CTL restart. So doing all these things is very complex in production server, because PT we have to take permission, we have to take several level permission for doing for restarting Apache server or for changing the ports of Apache server. So it takes much time in production. Okay, so just try to access this over browser. So just start the Firefox. Okay, let's try to access over localhost. Okay, local host 85. Yes, we are able to see the index.html content. So in this manner, you can also change the context type. So uh, you can just search it on Google for a exact context type, and you can also search for the SELinux database from your system too. Okay. So in this manner, you are able to change the context type of any file or any service, and you are able to allow any port in a Linux. Okay. So when we get like an error, then how we can just know what error we are facing? Here, you can check for SELinux log. Where log is located, log for SELinux, or it is located here. Okay. So you have to remember all these things for successful troubleshooting so that you won't be confused. So practice makes man perfect because just you can see I got confused in um, when I was creating the just simple YAML local repo. So I got confused in slash. So that's why it take me the 3 to 4 attempt to solve that error. So solving error is always you have to practice this more and more. So for ignoring this type of error. So that's it for this video. So this is all about a Linux basic tutorial. This is not so much advanced tutorial, but when you know all these points, then definitely you are able to perform a basic admin level task of Linux. So thanks for watching this video.